What's up, everybody? Dan and Derek here with the Positive Tribe podcast. Today, guess what we're going to be talking about? Happiness.
Happiness.
And just things that we do that make us happy and how to enjoy everything.
It's a good topic.
Yeah, it's a great topic because, I mean, let's be honest. When you're happy, what happens? Good things.
Life gets better, I think.
Exactly. Yeah. Good things always happen when you're in a good mood.
Yeah.
And, it's human nature to want to be happy, but people, they just don't really know how to be happy or the science behind it, Like scientists are even just barely starting to grasp the whole brain process of the dopamine releases, the emotions, the chemical process, everything that affects what makes us happy, our behaviors, our thoughts, and what it means to be happy.
Yeah,
so what does it mean to be happy?
I don't know. Yeah, I think it's doing something that you subconsciously or consciously or your body wants and craves. But no, you nailed it. I don't think we know a lot about it when you stop and really think about what
because
it is.
You do things and then you just feel joy, right?
Yeah,
It's like hobbies. We've talked about hobbies a lot, and it's because it's a great way to overcome situations in your life. It's like if you have your own little time to do what you want to do, it makes you happy because your only focus is what you're doing at that point. And if it's something you enjoy doing, it's going to make you happy. So hobbies are a great way to get that dopamine release.
Yeah.
Obviously that when you're surrounded by people that you love and that love you, you get that dopamine release as well. That gives you that sense of joy, happiness, and connection with others. But
so I'm not a professional or scientist or anything, but when you are addicted to something, your brain releases dopamine too, correct?
Yes.
But that's like a false sense of happiness, and your body does recognize that's a false sense of happiness afterwards, maybe. I don't know how that works. I don't know what your opinion is.
My thoughts on that is, so when you're doing drugs, your body kind of goes into a relaxed state, or into a different state than is normal. And so it causes your brain to, I guess, develop different, I don't want to say develop, but it interprets things differently.
Yeah, that's a good word.
And so some drugs do cause a dopamine release. I know that marijuana and stuff,
right.
Because it's the benefits of it is, it relaxes you, it helps reduce stresses, and when you're less stressed, what happens? You're usually happier.
You're happy, right?
And so it's because I'm obviously not a scientist or a special brain surgeon or anything like that.
Right.
But it's from what I've personally researched and found is that the drugs put you into a false sense of dopamine.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, yeah.
And because you just feel different than what you normally feel.
And after the high wears off, your body's going to recognize that, that wasn't a true...
Yeah.
That wasn't... Huh.
So it's just your body's like, oh, this is different. Okay, cool.
Right.
And then after, your body's like, oh, wait, I don't feel so good now.
Yeah,
that was
more
different.
Of that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like I would much rather be in that other state than in this state.
Yeah.
And that's how people get addicted.
That's interesting.
So...
well, happiness, we were doing some research on this, and I found it interesting that in the Declaration of Independence, it says pursuit of happiness is one of our rights.
Yes.
I think, like you mentioned in the beginning of this, that happiness is something that we're all in need of in one way or another, and that was recognized X amount of years ago, whenever that was written, back 200 years.
1776 was when it was signed.
Yeah, exactly. So it was that important then, and they had no knowledge of what we do now about all the science behind it, but our bodies crave happiness. Our souls, whatever you want to call it, crave happiness.
Yeah, and these particular world leaders, I mean, these were we're just ordinary men.
Yeah.
I mean, that came up with this.
Right.
They're like, what would make life for everyone better? And they put it in there.
Yep.
Pursuit of happiness.
So I think it was important. I think it is important.
It still is, yeah.
Yeah,
100%.
exactly.
I mean, the Declaration comes before anything else in our country.
It's the foundation, yeah.
And it's like, yeah, we have all these additional articles and Bill of Rights and stuff that come beyond that, but it's in the main structure.
Yeah.
So it has to be important.
Yeah.
Because let's be honest, if there wasn't happiness in the world, what would we be?
Yeah, exactly. And I think when we get caught up in the daily grind of the 9 to 5 or the stresses of finances and stuff, that definitely takes away from our purpose of being happy. And so, I don't know. I think that where we're getting to is the whole purpose of this episode is trying to eliminate things that don't make you happy and trying to find what makes you happy and focus on that.
Yeah, or at least reduce them, because
you can't eliminate all of them.
Yeah, because there's no way you're going to be able to reduce or eliminate bills.
Everything, right?
Because I mean, everybody's going to have bills in one way or another.
Right.
Your cell phone, even if you were completely off grid, you still have to eat.
Yep.
You still have to have clothing. There's going to be bills no matter how you live, where you live.
Yep.
But definitely just control it. If we can control how we feel in situations, it can change everything.
Yep, exactly.
Because, when you put good out, you get good back.
So what happens when you can't control a situation? How do you find happiness in a situation you can't really control that is causing stress or whatever?
And it depends on the situation. It really does, because I mean, there's going to be stressful situations that are out of your control, and I'm not, you're not going to find positivity in everything,
right?
But you can look for positivity in other aspects around in your life at that time.
Yeah, yeah.
So I'm not saying to ignore the issue that's going on, but don't just focus and fester on it.
Yeah, yeah.
Look at some of the other
kind of
stuff
a mindset game then in some of those situations.
Yeah, because it's like if you're in a point in life where you're trying to figure everything out and you're just like so compressed and just beaten up and you need to think for a second, just pull back. Don't sit and fester on that situation. Take a breather. In my one of the best tips I've gotten in my life, not in this current line of work, but in my previous line of work, is if you're focused too much on something, it's going to cause issues. That's like if you are sitting there and you're constantly loving and like overbearing on your children, they're not going to want to be around you. But because there's always too much of everything. So
even too much of a good thing can
even be bad.
Yeah.
It's like, you can chase your kid around circles, saying, I love you, I love you, I love you.
The kid's going to be like, dude, give me some space.
Exactly. But then it's like, you could be sitting there and be like, come over here, I want to give you love. And they'll, they'll come over and you give them a hug and stuff. And, it's like that you want to kind of put yourself.
You want to have a good balance.
Yeah. You want to have a good balance. And if you're just sitting focusing on that negative, you're not balanced.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think that kind of sums up a lot, is finding that right balance in every aspect of your life. If you're working too much, maybe try and find a new line of work where your hours are a little more ideal for your family life. If you're at home too much and you're driving your wife and your kids crazy, maybe get a hobby. I don't know. But I think balance is important. Yeah. Our life is meant to be balanced.
Yeah, and going back to, the pursuit of happiness. I mean, if you're not, happy in what you're doing, look around. Mm-hmm. I mean, you never know what you might find that would make you happier.
Yep. So real quick, what makes you happy? What are some things in your life that you feel are well balanced, or that just brings you joy? Or
it's just home life. It's like when you're at work, I talk with a lot of different people all day, every day. And, that interaction makes me happy, as long as, it's in a position where, I'm able to help the customer
Yeah.
or things like that. Because I'm helping them, so that makes me feel better, but then they're also getting helped, and they're, it's like, so they're feeling happy, and, there's an overall happy situation. And then at home, it's like, going out and doing things with the family, even just doing my hobbies.
Yeah.
That's kind of what makes me happy. And the balance there is that I still have to go to work,
Right.
but I get to talk with all these cool people.
Yeah.
And then at home, it's like I still have to do stuff around the house. I still have to do this. I still have to do that. But at the same time, we also get to go and do things and enjoy life. And then hobbies is a nice pullback where I can just focus on one thing. I don't have to have any other worries in the back of my head. I'm focused on one thing.
Yeah.
What about you? What makes you happy?
My wife, me and her have a really good relationship. We like to hang out a lot. My kids, work, I actually do enjoy. I'm self-employed, so I get to, kind of call a lot of my own shots. It's stressful in some ways, but it's fun, pursuing, those businesses. And then hobbies too. I really have found that I enjoy learning new things.
How's your welding going?
It's going good. I love welding. It's really fun, actually. This is new for me. I not usually typically a comfortable guy behind cameras, but it's fun to sit down and talk about lots of different topics. It's new for me, and I really enjoy that. But I think in general, my takeaway for finding happiness is hobbies. Whether you want to pursue a hobby with your partner or spouse or personally, I think there's a lot to be said about trying to find new interests, and there's so much stuff out in the world to discover. So much. Yeah. I might be fascinated with gemstones and crystals and rocks and stuff like you are. I don't know. I've never really delved into that, but
we'll have to get you out one day.
I know. Yeah.
It just takes one day. That's it.
One day.
They say the gold bug bites hard.
Yeah, I am fascinated by gold. No, but there's a lot of world out there. A lot of places to go travel, a lot of things to discover, a lot of hobbies to find. So I think there's a lot that can make people happy and they don't realize it.
Yeah.
So
what makes you guys happy? Like, do you guys have specific hobbies? Is it, your family? Like, let us know in the comments.
Yeah, we'd love to hear. We always love hearing from you guys.
Yeah. And because
that's the whole point of this.
I mean, the whole point is to develop this community, this tribe.
Yep.
And
pick your brain via technology.
Yep. And let us know in the comments below what makes you happy. And that
wraps it up, I guess.
Yeah, we will see you all in the next one.
Next one.
Hope to see you around on the Facebook group.
See you guys.